The stars shimmered like tiny diamonds across the velvet black of space. In Sector A-17, a cluster of neutral planets bustled quietly with trade ships, exploration vessels, and alien freighters. The creatures of this sector had grown used to calm and predictable routines. Peace had lasted for centuries, yet that peace was about to be shattered, not by anger or by war, but by the sudden arrival of a human battleship. Captain Zorath stood on the observation deck of the alien scout, cruiser Valkyr. His 6 eyes scanned the void, scanning for anything unusual. Reports had come in from distant sensors of a massive object moving at a speed no alien ship could match. "It appears enormous," Zorath muttered, his voice trembling slightly. "I have never seen a ship this size, not even in the archives." The other crew members of the Valkyr, small, slender beings with translucent skin and elongated limbs, gathered around the main viewport. Their tendrils twitched nervously. Among them, Entra, the youngest scout, whispered, "Do you think it's a warship?" Zorath shook his head. "If it were a warship, we would have known. This is something else, something beyond us." The object grew larger on their sensors. It was unlike anything they had catalogued. Smooth, sleek, yet impossibly massive. Its hull shimmered faintly in the distant starlight, reflecting no weapons, no insignia, no signals. Just the hum of quiet power. On board the human battleship, the crew moved with calm precision. Commander Jara and her team navigated their vessel through the sector's space lanes. The ship's exterior was massive, yes, but the humans treated it like it was just another day at work. No panic, no fear. Every crew member focused on their tasks with quiet efficiency. "Approaching coordinates," Jara said. Her voice was steady, confident. The bridge around her hummed with the sound of engines, soft beeps, and the occasional clack of keys as crew adjusted instruments. "Keep scanning, but nothing in the sector shows hostility. This is routine, everyone." Her first officer, Lieutenant Marr, nodded. "Sensors clear. No unusual activity detected in nearby systems, Commander." Jara gave a small smile. "Then let's make this simple. We are delivering supplies, conducting research, and observing local space phenomena. Nothing more." Back on the alien scout cruiser, the Valkyr crew's panic grew. "It's moving too fast," Zorath exclaimed. "We can't match its speed. Even at half its pace, we'd arrive centuries later." Entra's tendrils shook. "Could it be hostile? Could it attack us?" Her voice trembled. No one knew what humans were capable of. They were a species mostly mentioned in rumors. Clever, strong, and mysterious. But no one had ever seen one in person. Zorath gripped the railing. "We must warn the station, alert all nearby fleets. This is beyond anything we've faced." Meanwhile, the human battleship moved like a silent giant. It passed near the asteroid belts and the trading lanes without a ripple. Small alien cargo ships shifted aside automatically, sensing the sheer size of the vessel. Humans on the bridge barely noticed. To them, this was normal navigation. On the Valkyr, sensors suddenly detected the humans' communication signals. "They are silent," said Zorath. "No calls, no hails, nothing. Do they not communicate?" "They may not need to," Entra whispered, eyes wide. "Rumors say they can coordinate without words. Impossible. But maybe true." The alien crew tried to send a standard warning, a pulse of energy intended to communicate danger. The humans intercepted it, read it in a fraction of a second, and interpreted it politely. Commander Jara responded with a calm message. "Greetings. We are conducting peaceful operations in this sector. No threat intended. Thank you for your attention." The Valkyr crew stared at the message in disbelief. It was polite. There was no threat. And yet, the human ship still radiated a presence that was undeniable, powerful, controlled, and overwhelming. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't hostile. But somehow, it felt unstoppable. Zorath took a shaky breath. "We underestimated them," he murmured. "Entirely underestimated." Entra's tendrils curled around the railing. "What do we do now? Should we retreat?" Zorath shook his head slowly. Too late. They've been spotted. And now we are at their mercy in a way, not because they would attack us, but because we cannot stop them if they chose to act. In the distance, the human battleship glided through the void with ease. Its sensors scanned the sector with precision, noting the positions of asteroids, trading ships, and alien patrols. Every movement of the humans was calculated and exact. There was no panic, no haste, only order. Jara turned to her navigator. Prepare for orbital approach near the neutral station. Keep speed moderate, let's not alarm the locals. Her crew executed the commands flawlessly. Engines adjusted, thrusters fired softly. The massive battleship shifted its course slightly, maintaining its silent dominance across the stars. Every system on board hummed in quiet harmony. On the alien station, merchants, diplomats, and scientists noticed the human battleship's arrival. Many paused, staring at the immense vessel floating into view. Rumors had spread of human strength, but no one had imagined this scale. Even the most seasoned traders whispered nervously. One alien delegate, Talik, turned to his companion. Do they always move like this? So? Precise, calm, powerful? His companion shook her head. No. Never. We thought humans were clever, yes, but this is something else entirely. Meanwhile, the Valkyr struggled to keep up. Every attempt to scan, shadow, or intercept the human ship failed. The alien sensors couldn't match the human speed or the complexity of their systems. Every reading showed advanced shielding, adaptive engines, and self-repairing components. The aliens realized that they were not just dealing with a powerful ship. They were witnessing a species at the peak of ingenuity. Zorath turned to Entra, his 6 eyes wide. We need to inform the Council immediately. They must know what we have seen. Humans. Humans are not like any species we have encountered. And now, they are here. As the human battleship drew closer to the station, crew members inside continued their work calmly. Some adjusted equipment, others analyzed minor readings. In the observation room, Lieutenant Marr pointed to a display. We are approaching. Orbital range. Sensors detect normal traffic. We can proceed safely. Commander Jara nodded. Good. Maintain standard protocols. Remember, we are observers, not intruders. Our presence is for knowledge and aid, nothing more. Back on the Valkyr, Zorath felt a mix of awe and fear. They are not attacking us. Yet we cannot stop them even if we wanted to. Entire fleets would fail. One human ship, one crew, unstoppable. I cannot comprehend it. Entra whispered. Do you think we should try to communicate again? Maybe they will answer our questions? Zorath shook his head. No. We have already seen enough. Seeing is understanding. And what we see, humans are something beyond our reckoning. We have been lucky they are peaceful. The alien scout cruiser followed at a distance, helplessly, observing. Across the sector, other fleets scrambled to get reports. Rumors spread of the human battleship. Panic, awe, and curiosity mixed in every corner. Every species realized one truth. The humans were coming. And now it was too late to stop them. The stars sparkled silently as the human battleship continued its glide. It was enormous, calm, and efficient. Within its hull, humans moved as if they were part of a single organism. Coordinated, intelligent, and fearless. Not aggressive, not violent, but undeniably dominant through sheer competence and control. The aliens whispered among themselves, realizing that humanity's arrival was not just an event. It was a revelation. A reminder that there were species in the galaxy that could not be measured by traditional metrics of power or fear. The human's strength came not from weapons or size alone, but from discipline, intelligence, and teamwork. The neutral space station floated quietly near the edge of an asteroid belt. Its domed structures reflected the faint light of nearby stars, and trading vessels from dozens of alien species docked carefully at its ports. For generations, this Station had been a hub of diplomacy and commerce. But today, everything changed. The human battleship hovered in orbit above the station. It was massive, but it moved with a calm elegance, as if it were gliding through a familiar corridor rather than the vacuum of space. Inside the station, alarms rang softly, not warning of danger but signaling the arrival of something extraordinary. Captain Zorath and the crew of the scout cruiser Velkir had already transmitted their observations to the station's council. Alien leaders gathered in the central chamber, their multicolored eyes wide with anticipation and anxiety. They had never faced a species like this, humans. The rumors they had heard were astonishing, but the reality was even more overwhelming. This cannot be normal, said Ambassador Talek, his voice trembling. One ship, one crew, and yet they dwarf entire fleets of our patrols. And yet they do not attack. They do not signal threat. What do they want? Entra, the young scout, spoke softly almost to herself. Perhaps they are peaceful. Perhaps they are not here to fight. But if they wished to, no one could stop them. Zorath nodded. It is true. We have underestimated them, entirely. On board the human battleship, Commander Jara stood calmly on the bridge. Her first officer, Lieutenant Mar, looked at the approaching station. Commander, the station is fully operational. No unusual activity detected among the inhabitants. Docking clearance should be smooth. Jara nodded. Very well. Initiate communication protocols. Keep the message simple and friendly. We are here to observe, assist, and learn. Nothing more. The aliens in the station received the human message almost instantly. A soft voice echoed through the chamber. Greetings. We are humans from Earth. We approach your station in peaceful intent. We carry scientific knowledge, medical supplies, and observation data. We mean no harm, the council murmured among themselves. Some species were relieved, some skeptical. The humans' words were polite, precise, and yet somehow commanding. It was as if every word carried the weight of truth. Ambassador Talek straightened. They speak carefully, their words are clear. They do not threaten, yet their presence alone. It is overwhelming. Entra whispered. It is as if they expect respect, not by force, but simply by being. They are confident. Too confident. Zorath pressed his hand to his forehead. And that confidence is not empty. Our sensors show technology far beyond our understanding. Shields, engines, repairs, all functioning perfectly. This is one crew, and yet they are a force unlike anything in the galaxy. Inside the human battleship, Jara observed the station. Lieutenant, deploy a drone for a full survey of the docking area. Let's ensure we respect local traffic and avoid interference. Mar nodded. Within minutes, a small reconnaissance drone unfolded from the ship, moving with incredible speed and precision. Its sensors scanned the station, mapping every docking bay, asteroid approach, and vessel in orbit. It relayed the information instantly back to the bridge. This is routine, Jara said. We are here to assist. Observation first, interaction second. Maintain calm. Back on the station, aliens watched in awe. The human's drone moved seamlessly, adjusting paths to avoid collision with smaller ships. It repaired minor damage on a station wall caused by a maintenance shuttle without disturbing anything else. The aliens had never seen technology work with such efficiency. Ambassador Talek leaned toward Zorath. They are perfect. Every action calculated, every response precise. They do not hurry, they do not panic, yet nothing fails around them. How can one species manage so much? Zorath shook his head. I do not know, but we are witnessing the difference between ordinary and exceptional. Humans are something else. As the human battleship prepared for orbital approach, Jara authorized a direct message to the station's council. She kept the tone polite, professional, and subtly confident. We request permission to dock. We seek to exchange knowledge and observe local practices. Our mission is peaceful. We aim to learn, assist, and collaborate. The aliens hesitated. Many had assumed humans were dangerous, based on their size, rumored abilities, and unmatched technology. But their words, calm and precise, caused uncertainty. Could a species so powerful also be benevolent? Ambassador Talek finally responded. We grant docking permission. You may approach carefully. Peace is maintained here, and we do not wish to provoke conflict. Jara nodded. Acknowledged. Preparing for docking. The human battleship descended toward the station with extraordinary control. Its massive hull adjusted to microthrusts, avoiding minor gravitational anomalies from nearby asteroids. Onlookers watched silently, unable to look away. Each adjustment was smooth, flawless. Entra, still observing from her scout ship, whispered to Zorath, "They are perfect in motion. Even a small human vessel would be impressive. But one of this size, one crew, it is impossible." Zorath replied, "Impossible and yet true. That is the danger. Not that they attack, but that they can do anything. The galaxy has never seen such precision, such control, such confidence." Once docked, humans began small, careful exchanges with station officials. Crew members delivered supplies, repaired minor systems, and shared medical technology that amazed the aliens. No one spoke of weapons, there was no threat. Yet every alien present felt the quiet weight of human capability. One of the station engineers, a tall, segmented alien with 4 limbs and 2 sets of eyes, approached a human engineer. "Your technology, it works so simply, yet so efficiently. We could spend decades learning your methods." The human engineer smiled politely. "We're happy to share knowledge. We've found that careful observation, teamwork, and practice often accomplish more than speed or brute force." The alien's eyes widened. "You do not boast, you do not threaten. And yet, every movement, every tool you touch is beyond our understanding. How can one species master so much?" The humans continued their calm, methodical work. One repaired a failing power conduit on the station. Another corrected navigation data, while a small team organized emergency protocols for minor hazards. Every action demonstrated competence, intelligence, and unwavering calm. Zorath, observing from his scout cruiser, whispered, "They do not need to fight. They do not need to intimidate. And yet, the entire sector knows they are unstoppable. That is power. That is human power." The aliens debated what to do next. Some urged caution, arguing for distance and secrecy. Others argued for engagement, hoping to learn from the humans. The council realized that this species, so precise and so capable, could not be controlled. No fleet could contain them. No weapon could match their ingenuity. Meanwhile, humans completed their observations and assistance. Commander Jara addressed her crew. "We have established communication and cooperation. Continue standard operations, maintain calm, and observe. The station is stable, and no conflict has occurred. Keep focus on learning and assisting. That is our strength." Mar nodded. "Understood, Commander. The station is functioning better than before our arrival. No resistance, no chaos, only efficiency." Back on the station, Ambassador Talek and other leaders realized the full scope of what they had witnessed. Humans did not dominate through fear, size, or force. They dominated through intelligence, coordination, and calm confidence. Their presence alone inspired awe, fear, and respect, without a single act of aggression. Entra leaned on Zorath's armrest. "They are not like us. They are not like anyone we know. And now, everyone will know. The galaxy cannot ignore humans any longer." Zorath nodded slowly. "Indeed, they are here, and they cannot be stopped. Not because they are violent, but because they are extraordinary. And now the question is, what will they choose to do next?" For the first time, the sector realized that humans were not a threat in the usual sense. They were a standard the galaxy had never seen before. Knowledge, skill, teamwork, and calm confidence. The humans' quiet strength far surpassed anything the aliens had imagined. The asteroid field stretched endlessly across the void, a glittering maze of jagged rocks and floating debris. For most ships, navigating through it was a challenge that required careful calculations and constant adjustments. Even the fastest alien vessels slowed considerably to avoid collisions. But the human battleship moved through the field with calm precision, as if it were a painter gliding across a canvas. Commander Jara observed the display screens on the bridge. "Sensors show minor gravitational anomalies and loose debris," she said. "Adjust thrusts for minimal energy expenditure. Keep the ship centered and balanced." Lieutenant Marr nodded and relayed commands. The ship responded smoothly, engines firing in microbursts, shields adjusting to each minor impact, thrusters coordinating with exact timing. Every maneuver was measured, deliberate, perfect. From their hidden positions, the alien scout fleet watched in disbelief. Captain Zorath and his crew floated tens of kilometers behind, tracking the humans' movements. I cannot believe it," Zorath murmured. "One ship, one crew, and yet they navigate this field better than any fleet we've seen." Entra's tendrils twitched nervously. "It's as if the ship moves itself, yet every action comes from humans. How can one species master so much?" Zorath shook his head. "It is not just mastery. It is intelligence, coordination, and calm control. Humans are extraordinary." Inside the battleship, humans worked as one cohesive unit. Engineering officers monitored systems, adjusting shield matrices in real time. Navigation officers calculated trajectories for every asteroid in sight, communicating silently through subtle gestures and standard protocols. Crew members handled repairs on the hull without pausing, correcting minor scratches and dents caused by debris that would have damaged lesser vessels. "Hull integrity at 99.8%, reported an engineer. "Minor micrometeor impacts absorbed and repaired automatically." Jara smiled. "Excellent. Keep monitoring. Remember, our goal is observation and demonstration. We show capability, not force." The aliens could only watch. Small drones deployed from the human ship zipped around the asteroids, collecting samples, adjusting shields, and demonstrating repair protocols. Each drone seemed simple, yet every action was intelligent and adaptive. They avoided collisions, repaired minor fractures in the rocks, and even positioned themselves to guide alien ships safely through the field. Ambassador Talek, observing from the station's distant monitoring platform, leaned toward his assistant. "Do you see this? One human ship, one crew, and yet their control over this environment surpasses our fleet's. Every adjustment precise, every action calculated. No mistakes, no hesitation." His assistant shook her head. "It is unnerving. We are used to measuring strength in speed, weapons, or numbers. But these humans, they dominate without violence. They do not threaten, yet they cannot be matched." As the battleship weaved through the asteroid field, Jara authorized a demonstration. "Lieutenant, engage coordinated maneuvers. Show their observation fleet what humans can do in complex space environments." Marr nodded. Instantly, the ship shifted. Its engines fired in synchronized pulses, making tight turns around massive asteroids, weaving through tight corridors of floating rock. The shields adjusted seamlessly, deflecting smaller debris without any noticeable damage. Every movement was smooth, precise, and awe-inspiring. The alien scouts gasped. One of Zorath's crew exclaimed, "They do not hesitate. Every calculation, perfect, every move correct, even our fastest pilots would fail." Entra pressed her face closer to the viewport. "It's impossible. How can one crew think, calculate, and execute this perfectly?" Zorath's 6 eyes narrowed. "Because they are not ordinary. Humans are designed for problem-solving, for adaptation, for teamwork. Every crew member knows exactly what the other is doing. They think as one." The human battleship continued its display, performing maneuvers that seemed reckless at first but were flawless in execution. It barrel-rolled around a massive asteroid, then fired a small probe to intercept a loose rock drifting dangerously close to a station module. The probe attached itself, nudged the asteroid slightly, and corrected its trajectory. No damage occurred. No one was hurt. And yet, The display was a lesson in skill, precision, and foresight. A young alien engineer on the station whispered, "They think ahead. They anticipate problems before they appear. One mistake for us, 1 second of hesitation, and the station could be destroyed. But they prevent everything from happening." Ambassador Talek turned to his council. "This is not aggression. This is not threat. This is superiority through intelligence and skill. They have arrived and we cannot stop them, not because they fight, but because they are better at everything we know." Zorath frowned. "They are teaching without speaking, demonstrating without orders. Simply by existing, they show the difference between ordinary and extraordinary." Back on the battleship, Commander Jara ordered a final display before departing the asteroid field. The ship executed a complex series of movements, spinning around a tight cluster of rocks, guiding alien drones safely through the paths, and correcting minor environmental hazards along the way. The humans worked in perfect harmony, their calm focus creating a sense of controlled power that was impossible to ignore. One of the aliens watching the demonstration whispered, "Even their mistakes, if they occur, are corrected immediately. They adapt, they improve, they are unstoppable." Entra's tendrils twitched as she muttered, "We thought humans were clever, but this is genius. They are a force of nature. One ship, one crew, and yet the galaxy cannot ignore them." Zorath nodded slowly. "Indeed, the legends were true, but seeing it in person, it changes everything. One human ship can outperform entire fleets. And now we know, if humans wish to, they can excel beyond comprehension." As the EI human battleship exited the asteroid field, it deployed small observation satellites to continue monitoring the region. Every satellite functioned independently yet coordinated perfectly with the main ship. This silent efficiency further impressed the aliens. Commander Jara watched the sensors and smiled. "Mission successful. Observation complete. The sector is safe. The station is stable and all minor hazards mitigated. Excellent work, everyone." Lieutenant Marr glanced at the display. "We have proven our presence, but peacefully. The aliens now see our capabilities, yet we have caused no fear, no destruction. Just respect." "Exactly," Jara said. "Respect and understanding. That is more powerful than any weapon. Humans are strongest when we use intelligence, teamwork, and calm control. Never forget that." Back on the observation platforms, the aliens continued to discuss what they had seen. "They are extraordinary," said Ambassador Talek. "They do not fight, yet their skill surpasses all we know. One human ship, one crew, and the galaxy must take notice." Entra turned to Zorath. "Do you think they will continue like this everywhere they go? Helping, observing, teaching, and yet showing superiority without violence?" Zorath's 6 eyes studied the retreating battleship. "Yes, that is what makes them dangerous, not in aggression but in perfection. They teach, they guide, they excel, and we are left in awe. The galaxy cannot ignore humans any longer." The stars sparkled silently around the departing battleship. Its passage through the asteroid field had been a lesson in skill, patience, and intelligence. Aliens had seen humans at work, not in war but in brilliance. And every observer knew, these humans were a force unlike any other. No weapons had fired. No harm had been done. Yet the demonstration left the galaxy in awe. Humans did not need to conquer. They did not need to threaten. They simply excelled at everything they attempted, inspiring respect, admiration, and a deep sense of humility among all who watched. As the human battleship vanished into the distance, the aliens whispered among themselves. "One day, humans will influence the entire sector," one said. "One day, we may have to follow their lead. And now, there is no turning back." Zorath nodded silently. "We have seen them. We have learned from them. And now, the galaxy has changed. Humanity has arrived, and there is no way to stop what they represent." The stars remained quiet witnesses to a species whose strength lay not in fear or violence, but in calm intelligence, teamwork, and the unwavering pursuit of excellence. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The neutral space station hummed with quiet activity. Aliens from dozens of species moved through docking bays, trade halls, and observation decks. But amid the usual bustle, the presence of the human battleship dominated every discussion. For days, representatives of local civilizations had watched the humans' calm efficiency, flawless teamwork, and technological mastery, and now Commander Jara and her crew were ready to meet the station's council directly. The council chamber was vast, circular and transparent in places to allow a view of the stars beyond. Talek and the other alien delegates waited, nervous, yet curious. The humans arrived in a small, maneuverable shuttle, stepping out in uniforms that were simple but orderly. Every movement was precise, calm, and deliberate. Commander Jara led her crew. "Greetings," she said, her voice steady and clear. "We thank you for your hospitality. Our mission is to observe, assist, and share knowledge. We mean no harm, and hope to foster understanding." The council murmured. One delegate, a segmented four-limbed species, leaned forward. "We have seen your actions in the asteroid field and your presence in orbit. Your skill, it is unmatched. One crew, one ship, and yet you perform what entire fleets could not. Why?" Jara smiled slightly. "Our strength lies not in power or numbers, but in preparation, cooperation, and focus. Every crew member knows their role. We anticipate challenges before they occur, and we work together to overcome them." Entra, observing from the chamber balcony, whispered to Zorath, "Did you hear that? They do not boast. They simply explain. And yet, their words carry authority. We all understand the truth in them." Zorath nodded. "Yes, they are calm, polite, and yet, we know they are capable of anything. That is the human way." Another delegate, this one with luminous skin and tentacle-like appendages, asked, "But why share your knowledge? You could dominate, impose your will, and none could resist. Why not?" Jara's gaze was steady. "Because strength without understanding is meaningless. We seek partnership, not domination. We share knowledge because it allows civilizations to grow, adapt, and improve. Cooperation is more powerful than conquest." Talek's many eyes widened. "Your words. They match your actions. You do not threaten, yet you command respect. You do not conquer, yet your presence changes everything. How can one species achieve this?" Lieutenant Marr stepped forward, offering a practical example. "We solve problems by thinking ahead, sharing responsibilities, and staying calm. We use intelligence, not force, to handle challenges. Technology assists us, but it is our preparation, training, and teamwork that truly matter." The aliens leaned closer. They had expected pride, arrogance, or subtle threats. Instead, they found humility, confidence, and clarity. They could not deny the humans' brilliance, and yet they felt no fear, only admiration and a touch of awe. Commander Jara continued. "Consider the asteroid field demonstration. We guided the path, repaired hazards, and protected lives. No, harm was done. All risks were minimized because we prepared, coordinated, and worked together. That is the essence of human capability. Not violence, not domination, but skill and teamwork." A young alien scientist spoke next. "Your crew operates as one mind. Even your drones, and they adapt, repair, and coordinate. We have never seen anything like it. Entire fleets would be overwhelmed trying what you accomplish effortlessly." Jara nodded. "Intelligence, observation, and calm action allow us to manage complexity. We train for situations like this, study potential outcomes, and adjust continuously. Humans are naturally curious, disciplined, and inventive. That combination allows one crew to achieve the extraordinary." The council remained silent, absorbing every word. The humans were not making threats. They were not demanding obedience. They were sharing their philosophy, and it carried weight, far beyond their size or numbers. Ambassador Talek whispered to a colleague, It is not their power we fear, it is their understanding. They see, they calculate, and they act flawlessly. One day, every civilization will measure itself against them. Entra turned to Zorath. Do you think they ever fail? Zorath shook his head. Perhaps, but if they do, they adapt immediately. That is the difference. Failure teaches them. For us, failure often means loss. For humans, it is simply a step toward mastery. Jara glanced at the council. We hope you see that humans do not conquer through fear or weapons. We conquer by excelling, by learning, by cooperating, and by sharing knowledge. That is why we are respected and why you will see our presence differently than any other species. A diplomat with translucent skin and glowing eyes asked cautiously, And what if other civilizations resist your methods? Some may see your actions as overwhelming. How do you handle resistance? Jara's smile was calm. We never force. We demonstrate, we teach, and we assist. We lead by example, not by coercion. Those who embrace collaboration thrive. Those who resist, well, we respect their choice, but we continue to show what is possible. Knowledge and capability are more persuasive than threats. The aliens exchanged looks. They had long measured strength by weapons, numbers, and territorial control. Humans did not fit any pattern they had learned, and yet they were undeniably capable, undeniably dominant, without aggression. Talek whispered, They are teachers, leaders, not conquerors. And yet one day every corner of the galaxy will know their name. They are humans. Entra's eyes sparkled. I see it now. One human crew, one battleship, and the galaxy will never be the same. Their philosophy spreads faster than fleets or armies ever could. Jara continued to share examples. When humans encounter challenges, technical, environmental, or diplomatic, we approach them systematically. We observe, analyze, and adapt. We work as a team, relying on each other's strengths. That is why we succeed, and that is why humans excel, where others may struggle. The council listened, captivated. No one interrupted, no one questioned. Humans had achieved something remarkable. Admiration without fear, respect without coercion, and influence without force. A young alien merchant finally spoke. Your crew, your philosophy, it is unlike anything we have seen. You do not conquer, yet you command respect. You do not fight, yet you influence. How do we learn this way? How do we adapt? Lieutenant Marr answered, Observe, practice, cooperate, plan carefully, respect knowledge, and use it wisely. Humans succeed not because of superiority alone, but because we prepare, think, and act together. You can do the same in your way. Excellence is possible for any species willing to commit. The council took in every word. The human crew had revealed more than technology. They had shared a worldview, one built on cooperation, intelligence, and calm efficiency. And it left the aliens profoundly changed. Ambassador Talek finally addressed Jara. You have shown us something beyond power, beyond fleets, beyond weapons. You have shown the potential of intelligence, teamwork, and planning. One crew, one battleship, and yet you inspire hope and awe simultaneously. You are unlike any species we have encountered. Jara nodded. Thank you. We are simply humans, doing what we do best, learning, helping, and cooperating. That is our strength, and that is why humans are recognized wherever we go. The council fell silent. Outside, the stars shone against the black void, bearing witness to a moment that would change history. The humans had arrived not as conquerors, but as exemplars. Their calm, intelligent, and capable presence had created admiration, understanding, and respect in a galaxy that had never seen anything like it. Entra turned to Zorath one last time. We feared them before we even knew them. Now I understand. Humans are not just strong, they are extraordinary. And now everyone will know it. Zorath nodded. Indeed, their influence will spread through knowledge and action. The galaxy will adjust. And we have witnessed it firsthand. As the humans departed the council chamber, their calm presence remained in every mind. They had shared knowledge, demonstrated skill, and inspired admiration. No weapons fired, no threats issued. Yet the galaxy would never forget this encounter. Commander Jara and her crew returned to their battleship, preparing for the next stage of their mission. They had shown capability, shared wisdom, and strengthened potential alliances. And in doing so, they had changed the perception of humanity across multiple species. Lieutenant Mars smiled. Mission successful. We influenced without force, demonstrated without aggression, and left a lasting impression. That is the human way. Jara nodded. Exactly. Always remember, our greatest strength lies in intelligence, cooperation, and calm action. That is why humans excel. That is why humans inspire. That is why humans cannot be ignored. Back on the observation decks and in the council chamber, the aliens whispered among themselves. They had seen humans at work, not in battle, not in conquest, but in brilliance. And they knew the truth. A species like this, so disciplined, intelligent, and cooperative, could change the course of the galaxy forever. The stars shone silently around the human battleship as it prepared to depart the neutral sector. The humans had revealed a new standard of capability, one measured not by violence or threat, but by intelligence, teamwork, and calm mastery. And as the ship glided through the void, the galaxy began to understand that humans were not just another species, they were extraordinary. The revelation was complete. The galaxy would never be the same. The human battleship had completed its mission in the neutral sector. Supplies were delivered, knowledge shared, and minor hazards corrected. Yet even as the crew prepared to depart, the echoes of their presence remained in every corner of the Yao. Galaxy, aliens whispered, observed, and studied the humans long after they left the council chambers. Commander Jara stood on the bridge of the battleship, overlooking the station from orbit. Lieutenant Mar stood beside her, reviewing reports and sensor data. All systems are optimal. The station is functioning better than before our arrival. Every interaction has been peaceful, yet it seems we've left a strong impression. Jara smiled faintly. That is always the goal. Humans influence not through fear, but through example. We demonstrate skill, intelligence, and teamwork. That is our true strength. Outside, the alien fleets watched quietly. Scout ships from multiple species followed the battleship at a safe distance, curious and cautious. They had seen humans in action, had interacted with them, and had witnessed demonstrations that no fleet could match. Yet the humans had caused no fear, no destruction, only admiration and awe. Captain Zorath of the Velkir finally turned to his young scout Entra. Do you understand now? Humans are not like any other species. One crew, one ship, and yet their presence changes everything. They do not need to attack. Their intelligence and discipline are enough. Entra nodded slowly. Yes, Captain. They are extraordinary. I never imagined a species could command respect without threats, without weapons. And yet, humans do it naturally. The aliens began to discuss the wider implications. Every fleet, every station, every civilization within the sector would now measure themselves against humans. The peaceful methods of influence, the unmatched coordination, the calm yet precise mastery of complex challenges, all of it set a new standard. On the human battleship, Jara activated the ship's interstellar communication system. We will depart the sector shortly, prepare final reports, and send summary data to all observation teams. The galaxy has seen our presence, but we leave opportunity for others to learn. Lieutenant Mar glanced at her. Commander, do you think they will truly understand our intent? Some may still fear or misinterpret. Jara's expression was calm, confident. Perhaps. But understanding grows with observation. We leave a legacy of capability and cooperation. Those who wish to learn will. Those who resist will see the results in time. Humans do not need to force understanding. We demonstrate it. That is enough. The human battleship slowly rose from orbit, engines firing softly. Its hull reflected the sunlight and distant stars, casting long, serene shadows across the asteroid belts. Below, alien observers continued to take notes, record data, and whisper among themselves. Ambassador Talek spoke quietly to his council. "We have witnessed humanity firsthand. One crew, one ship, and yet we feel their influence across the entire sector. Their strength lies not in force, but in intelligence, coordination, and calm mastery. The galaxy must adjust to their presence." Entra looked toward the departing battleship. "Do you think they will reach other sectors as well?" Zorath nodded, "Without doubt. And every civilization they encounter will experience what we have: awe, respect, and perhaps inspiration. Humanity is not just another species. They are a standard, one we must aspire to, not resist." Inside the battleship, the humans performed final system checks. Crew members monitored navigation, energy distribution, and long-range sensors. No detail was overlooked. Every task was handled with precision and care. This attention to detail, combined with their calm and confidence, was what made humans so extraordinary. Lieutenant Marr adjusted the ship's course. "We are clear of the neutral sector. All observation data recorded. All minor repairs completed. The station is stable. Mission objectives achieved." Commander Jara nodded. "Excellent. Maintain course for the next system. Continue observation, and assistance as needed. Humans move not to dominate but to inspire. That is our path." As the battleship drifted through the void, distant alien fleets recorded every maneuver. Analysts on observation platforms discussed the implications. One alien scientist murmured, "They excel in every task. Even when faced with challenges that would overwhelm us, humans adapt. Their ability to learn, plan, and coordinate, it is unmatched." Another whispered, "They do not fight, and yet no one could stop them if they chose to. One ship, one crew, and an entire sector has been influenced." Back on the battleship, Jara reviewed the final report. "The human strength is in knowledge, preparation, and teamwork. Not in weapons, not in fear, but in skill. Let this report guide future missions. We lead by example, not by force." Lieutenant Marr smiled. "And it seems we have succeeded. Every civilization we encountered respects humans more, admires our methods, and understands our intent. They may even try to emulate us in their way." Jara nodded. "Exactly. Influence through capability and cooperation is more powerful than any fleet or weapon. Humans set standards, and the galaxy will take note." As the battleship entered interstellar space, stars stretched into streaks of light. The alien sectors behind them buzzed with discussion, planning, and reevaluation. Stories of human skill, intelligence, and calm mastery spread quickly. Fleet captains told their crews. Diplomats shared accounts with other stations. Traders whispered rumors of humans who solved impossible problems without conflict, who repaired hazards effortlessly, and who inspired admiration simply by existing. Captain Zorath, watching from his scout ship, whispered to Entra, "We have seen them. We have observed humanity at work, and now the galaxy will remember them. We underestimated them before. Never again." Entra nodded, eyes wide. One crew, one ship, and yet the influence is enormous. Humans are unlike any species we have known, and now everyone will learn it in time. On board the battleship, Jara and her crew moved quietly. Each member knew their role, adjusted systems, and maintained observation protocols. Their calm efficiency reflected the philosophy that had guided humans for generations: intelligence, preparation, cooperation, and steady focus. As they approached the edge of the sector, Lieutenant Marr asked, "Commander, what will the other civilizations remember most? Our technology? Our actions, or us?" Jara looked ahead at the stars. "All of it. But more importantly, they will remember the way humans act. Calm, intelligent, cooperative, capable. That is our true influence. That is our legacy, The galaxy, vast and diverse, had just glimpsed something extraordinary. Not a conqueror, not a threat, but a species that excelled through intelligence, teamwork, and calm mastery. Aliens would study the humans, learn from them, and in some cases strive to emulate them. Entire sectors would remember the battleship, the crew and the quiet but undeniable power they represented. Ambassador Talek whispered one last time to his council. They do not fight, yet no one could stop them. They do not threaten, yet they command respect. Humans are a force of nature. One ship, one crew, and the galaxy is changed. Entra, watching the stars, smiled softly. And now, the legend begins. Humans have arrived. The galaxy will never be the same. Zorath nodded. We have witnessed it, and we will carry this knowledge forward. Humanity is extraordinary, and every civilization they touch will feel their influence, whether through admiration, cooperation, or inspiration. The galaxy has learned a new standard. Inside the battleship, Commander Jara gave her final orders for the sector. Maintain course, continue observation, and assist where needed. We are here to show what humans can do, not with aggression, but with intelligence, cooperation, and excellence. That is our way. As the ship glided into the depths of interstellar space, stars sparkling around it, one truth became undeniable. Humanity had arrived. One crew, one ship, and a calm mastery that no fleet could challenge had set a new standard for the galaxy.